What's going on, YouTube? This is Brett, the owner of Skate The Foundry, and I am at the Elkins Park location. And today I am going to be building a custom complete. I'm also going to tell you what the difference is between our custom complete and the completes that we order right from the distributors. So the reason why I'm doing it is because we're kind of low on completes, but we have a ton of stock on other things, such as like decks and our trucks. So there's no real reason to place another big order from one of our distributors when we only need a few things, such as completes. Let me tell you a little bit about these completes here. The completes that we get right from the distributor, this awesome Star Wars board, it's made by Element logo right down there. We got Element wheels and then Element trucks. These completes are made for beginners, so they have a little bit softer wheels, so you can go over rough surface a little easier. And the bushings tend to be a little bit softer, so it's easier for kids to turn and navigate when they're starting out. Still good quality, but I'm gonna build a board that is really good quality, and it's gonna be kind of fun, and it's gonna sell at the same exact price as all these other completes, which is $109.95. All right, so I'm gonna go to our sale boards. These are some boards that just been kind of sitting around, just haven't been selling too much. But this is the fun part. It's like I get to customize a skateboard that's not really mine. So I'm gonna pick out some parts here. So I'm gonna pick out this almost board, this sky brown one. I personally think it's a super cool graphic. Now let's go in and pick out our wheels. These Bones wheels. I think that's gonna match really well. What do you think? They kind of almost blend in right now. That's pretty cool. I think some white trucks would be cool. So we have some Ventures that have been here for a little while. So let's take a look. So these are the Independents. What are these? 5.2. What is this? Okay, 5. All right, so we got some 5.2 trucks from Venture, and for some reason it's a little annoying. Every person who works at a skate shop, or really every skater, finds this annoying. Every truck company has a different sizing chart, so we have a little sizing chart on here. We want to make sure these trucks match up for every person who comes here to shop. I'm gonna make sure their trucks aren't too big or too small. All right, so this is gonna look super cool. Look at this. We got the white trucks, the Bones. I already got the mini logo bearings. I almost forget bearings. And here's something that we usually do that you may not know. Mini logo reds are the same company. We get these because it's a little bit cheaper to actually buy that instead of having these individual packages of the bearings. So we get these whole things. But anyway, mini logo and reds are the same bearings, just different colors. All right, so anyway, I think I got all my parts here. I got my mini logo hardware. Mini logo it should be every like skate shop owner's like go-to brand. They should have tons of mini logo things. And if you think of buying, like, this is all mini logo trucks and wheels, they're just not the size for the board that I'm making. But mini logo rules. It's such a great thing. All right, so anyway, I think I got all my parts. I got the bearings, wheels, trucks, hardware, and my grip tape. All right, so I gotta go with the bullet grip tape. That's gonna be rough on the feet, rough on the shoes. But it's Bullet is the mini logo of NHS, and NHS is the one that makes independent mob grip. So Bullet is like the cheaper brand, but made from the same manufacturer. So kind of like the unbranded things. This should be in every skate shop. That's why I'm not using some mob. Mob is expensive, and it comes down to the branding when it comes down to everything. All right, so is this a business video or is this a skateboard building video? I don't know, but we're gonna put this thing together. I'm gonna put this on a tripod, and then you can watch how I build this thing. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, open this plastic out. Take this plastic off. Don't need this. I'm gonna save this sticker. I can give it away to someone who comes here. All right, so what you want to do when you're gripping your board, I like to have it out like this, and I'm going to just peel this whole entire sheet of grip off. We're going to pull that off, and we're going to just lay this flat on top of it. And what you're going to do is push out from the inside. So I like to push this out from the inside. A lot of people think like once the grip is down, you can't move it or you can't lift it back up, but you can. I like to just pat it down. I'm not trying to really stick it down all the way yet. just patting it down, trying to not get a lot of air bubbles in there, trying to get them all out. And then what you're gonna do, this back part here, just gonna put this right back over it, just smooth it out. Some grip, like Mob, has those little holes, they're perforated, so it's really easy to not get any air bubbles in your grip. But with Bullet, there might be some air bubbles in here, but I'll get rid of them. I'll show you how. All right, so we got the grip on. Now let's go around the edges here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the grip from underneath. So I don't know if you can see this, but I cut underneath it and I'm gonna cut it towards me. I like to do one clean motion. You see how I'm lifting it up, moving it again, lifting it up. I used to cut it from going down from this way, and that's just the incorrect way. If you want a nice, crisp, clean cut, you gotta go from underneath it. Like that. Yeah, if you want to look like a cool skater, like you know what you're doing, follow along with me. All right, so we're almost done. There we go. One clean cut. Wow, this grip is grippy. Here we go. Nice and clean. Little spot here, but the great thing is some people won't do this, but I am somewhat of a neat freak, and this thing will bother me. Even if it's not my board, if I see that, it's gonna bother me. This part isn't trash quite yet. So you're just gonna go around the edges and just give it a little sand. There we go. So now let's get those holes in there. So with the holes, you just go from underneath it. You have a nice little tool like this. You're just gonna poke it through. Same thing on the other side. All right, we're done with that tool. So now we got our holes. All right, I'm just gonna tighten these down. This is one of my favorite tools. It's 20 bucks. We sell them here, but I'm sure you can get them at any skate shop. It has a ratchet strap on it. I really do think this is the best skate tool ever created. It just makes your life so much easier. And I'll give you an example of one that has a ratchet and one that does not have a ratchet. So this is another, they're both called T-tools, because it's in the shape of a T. This is a unit tool. I guess that's the branding of it, and then this would be the actual silver T tool. I don't know the actual name from this, but anyway, it has a righty and lefty. So I'm gonna just put it on righty, and I'll show you the reason why I love this tool. Just pop it on, and then you're just using the ratchet strap. And you're just going back and forth, like that. Now, I wanna show you if you use a unit tool. Now on a unit tool, it's like, you see I have to like constantly like let go, move it, and it's a lot slower. And honestly, it's a little bit harder on the, like your arm gets tired, your forearm and your wrist will get tired of doing this for after 8 times. And actually when I was working at Zumiez, I didn't know that there was a drill, and it's like, all I wanted to do was use the T-tool. I remember during the holidays, I was using the T-tool, and there was a line of boards that I just constantly built. It was like for the Christmas, like people were getting all these completes, and I'm back there just like cranking away. My arm is so tired. I'm like switching on and off arms. And finally my manager was just like, dude, just use the drill. And I'm like, I don't know why. It's like, I knew how to use a drill. I knew how to use the drill, but I just never used it on my skateboard. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Now it is time to get your bearings into the wheels. All right. Oh, these feel nice. All right. Just trying to see what hardness they are. They feel like a 99 or maybe even harder, a 101. All right. So another thing that I used to do when I worked at Zumiez is never use the bearing press. This thing makes life so easy. Every skate shop has this. You're gonna put your bearing in, your wheel in, and then you're gonna sandwich it in with another bearing, and you're just gonna push this thing forward. I like to give it a couple spins around to just make sure the bearing, oh my gosh, to make sure the bearing is all the way in there and it's not like lopsided. So now we got the bearing in there, and that is set. I'll show you the way that I used to do it at Zumiez. Y'all are gonna think I'm absolutely crazy the way I used to create other people's skateboard at Zumiez. I might actually seem like a person that never skateboarded. But anyway, let's get a close up of this. All right, let's put the wheels on. So we're gonna just take off the axle nut of our skateboard, and then you're gonna have these washers. Every truck has 2 washers. Some people take them off, some people leave them. It comes with the washer, so I'm gonna leave it. Just put your sandwich it in with the other washer, and then you're just gonna twist the bolt on. So what I like to do, just give it a couple turns. You want to have a small little bit of wiggle in there, but not too much where it's just absolutely insane. But this is a perfect amount. Spins great. It's time to move on to the next wheel. And you're constantly checking as you're doing this. And that looks good. All right, so earlier on in the video, I was saying how I used to put the bearings into the trucks when I worked at Zumiez. Wait. Did I really say bearings into the trucks? I meant to say bearings into the wheels using the trucks. It's also ironic that I mentioned Zumiez as my previous employer, which is how skateboarders really do put their bearings in their trucks. This is before I even knew this tool existed, the bearing press. So when shoppers were in front of me, I would grab their board. I'll show you exactly what I used to do. Let me set up my tripod here. Give me one moment. Let me get your bearings in. I'll put this down. I'll take their bearing and I'll just put that on, and I'll just start pushing their wheel into the bearing this way. But I have the bearing in there. So that's the way that I learned how to do it. A little unprofessional, especially if I have the bearing press right behind me. But this is how I used to do it before my manager that never skated actually corrected me and taught me how to put together a skateboard, I don't know, more efficiently. All right, so I will show you up close how I put the bearing in. And this is really good to know just how to do it on your own. You just put the bearing in, put the wheel over top, and you apply pressure on both sides of the wheel, like so. And you push down with all your weight, and you want to just go in circles. You'll feel the bearing go in, it's gonna pop in, and it's gonna spin perfectly. If it wobbles a little bit, like this when it's spinning, then the bearing is not in all the way. So the bearing is now in. And then it also, just for the fun of it, if you want to take your bearing out, you just put it in. You put it in just a little bit like that, and then you yank your wheel out. There we go. Bearings in. All right, so we have our skateboard fully completed. Color wave looks really good. I put the green down here to match the skater stand, the yellow to match the dove, orange, just orange, but the purple matches, or hot pink. Very cool board. It's ready to go, but there's also a couple air bubbles on this board. So how you're gonna get that out? You're gonna take a nice little razor, and you're just gonna poke a hole. You gotta hold it up against the light sometimes to see where these air bubbles are. So here's one here. I just poke a little hole in it, and I just flatten it out. But like I said in the video, or like I said earlier in the video, I am a perfectionist when I put together skateboards or do anything skateboard related. One, because I love it, it's my passion, but here we go, we got it complete. Now, typically if someone went to another skate shop and picked out all the parts to this board, it could probably be over right around like $150 or more. Here it's gonna sell for $109. From a board that has been sitting around, same with trucks that have been sitting around and wheels that have been sitting around for a little bit. Not too long, but it's been a while. It came out to be an awesome board, and I guarantee now that this board will probably fly off the wall within the next few days. I'll be surprised if it's here after this weekend. I mean, it's a cool board. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this to our YouTube channel as we try to create more content and have fun with it. See you later. Thanks for coming. You.